Good afternoon and welcome back to another episode of Streaming Without a Paddle. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ted.
Well, what do we got here, Ted? What do we got?
We've got Don't Worry, Darling, but that is a good question. What do we have?
That's why I said that.
Is it a thriller? Is it a horror movie? Is it a drama? It's a lot of different things.
It's not a comedy.
It's not a comedy. But there's some funny moments.
Well, sure. And I can't say it's not a romance either because there's a lot of adult moments in it. Or enough. Say a lot. There's enough.
There's a very, very aggressive adult scene that I was like, that's happening on camera.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And, we're all adults here, I think.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know. I'll start off with saying that I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Okay, to put it into context, I enjoyed it. So, but without giving anything away, why don't you run down what the movie is? Give it.
And then the husbands come home at night, and they always have a drink waiting for them, and they party together, and all of them live in a little subdivision, and it's like 1950s perfect world.
Okay, he nailed that, and for those who might not understand, it is a very serious Truman Show.
Yes, it's an extremely serious Truman Show. That's a really good description of it.
There is nothing funny about this.
No, it's like Pleasantville, but not funny.
That's it. That's exactly what when the wheels started clicking, and I started picking up on what it was. The reality of it all is like, oh my gosh, Truman Show.
Stepford Wives.
Stepford Wives. That's right. Stepford Wives moved to Truman Show.
It's almost boring at first. Like the first 20 minutes, you're almost like, okay, we get it. This place is great. What's going to go wrong?
Maybe that was the reason they cast Harry Styles and, what's her name?
Florence Pugh?
Yes.
She's ridiculously good. Like, Florence Pugh.
They're eye candy.
Yeah, but if she doesn't get nominated for an Oscar for that performance, robbed. I have not seen a better performance in any movie this year by an actress.
I concur. But Ted is right. It's really kind of slow in the beginning. You're trying to figure things out, and I think they did a good job of that. Because I think while it was slow, it got you thinking. Mm-hmm. It did. It was like, okay, what's around the corner?
Right.
What's around the corner? And Harry Styles and
Florence Pugh from Midsummer.
Yeah. And from Black Widow.
Yeah. She's Black. Yeah. She's the sister.
Yeah.
She's just great. And she's like 26 years old.
She's amazing.
So good.
She was amazing. And again, I watched Harry Styles in My Policeman, mm-hmm. which was his first movie. Mm-hmm. And I thought he was great in that. I think I was really shocked when I get a little weary when I see people transition from one entertainment genre into another. Mm-hmm. And but I think he's a good actor.
So I think that he's.
But I'm not an actor, so
right. Yeah. Here's what I would say. In the scenes in this movie that called for him to be more emotional and more lashing out, I could definitely tell he did musical theater as a child, which he did.
He did. I did not know that.
But like when he's just in the top and when it's pretty surface, he did a good job. I just think you're not automatically good at it. Like not everything.
Right.
Like there's a dance scene in this thing where he performs and he's amazing. He's great. Then there's this, I don't want to ruin this for the audience, but when he gets in an argument with her, when she's trying to figure out what's going on, he didn't have it in him. It's not his fault.
Was it that he didn't have it? Because I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or was she just really, really good that
I mean, she definitely made him look worse because that scene in the car, we won't ruin anything, but that scene in the car, like before the car and in the car,
right,
is just like heartbreaking and
Yes.
scary. And she does, I think it doesn't help him that she went through 5 emotions in about a 2.5 minute scene and like somehow controlled every one of them extremely well. And then it's like he had anger to play. That was his choice. Also, let's talk about something so we don't spoil something.
Right.
Shia LaBeouf was supposed to play that role.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's what all the drama about this is, and
well, that and Olivia, wow.
Yeah, dumped Jason Sudeikis to go out with, or broke up with Jason Sudeikis, who Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
During this movie,
she directed, by the way, and she's in it,
and she did great.
She did great. She did great.
But the simple fact, the reason, or the movie has a very high buzz, is because she was hooking up with Harry Styles. They say.
Well, you know.
And it made, I mean, clearly at that premiere, it made, like, they did not seem like everybody was comfortable.
Well, I know it, read in the trades that she was doing a presser in Vegas, I think. And Sudeikis had her served while she was on stage.
I heard that. That's hilarious. And then there was...
That's a proud moment.
I mean, that's a baller move. You broke up with Ted Lasso.
I mean, well, you know, that was not a class act of all places she could have been served. In front of an audience. But anyway, that's a sidebar. We're getting off of what was.
We got a sidebar for this, though, because there's so much drama surrounding this movie. Did he spit on Chris Pine? I don't think he did, but it looked like that in that video.
Chris Pine's in this movie as well.
Ooh, Chris Pine is good.
Well, okay. I'll go with that. So you know what? You're right. He was good because you know what? He made me angry at him.
Yeah. So here's...
He did.
I don't know if I've said this before. You know that I did Williamstown with Chris Pine before he was Chris Pine.
No.
Yeah, so Williamstown Theater Festivals in Williamstown, Massachusetts, and basically it's Broadway people and film people that want to come do a play, right? Well, Chris was in the Act One company, which is like young actors, and then there's an apprentice company. They're all young actor groups, but Chris was there then, and we were... friendly friends, back then. And I've seen him a couple times since then, and he's always nice. Like, hey, man, what's up? But what I would say is, what I saw him play in this, no one has let him really do that. It's a character actor. And when we all knew him, and he was 21 years old, because I'm a year older than him. I don't look it, though. I'll give myself that for him. He definitely looks our age.
Yeah.
But he was doing all these cool character roles, and he was so good. Like, everyone knew. We were like, dude, he is ridiculously good. And then he got his break was like The Princess Diaries 2. And it's like, then he was just a leading man for like 10 years. Then he did Captain Kirk, and that was super cool.
Well, he did that FBI agent movie with...
Oh, yeah. The one that's a reboot, the one that Harrison Ford, isn't that one?
No, he and Venom. What's his?
Tom. Yeah. This Means War.
This Means War. Yeah, with Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah. He's a phenomenal actor.
So, everything I've seen him in, you just rattled it all off there. This Means War, and Captain Kirk, and Wonder Woman, and all that. This was such a different role for him from anything I've seen so far. Mm-hmm. And he did a great job. I hated him when it was, I get when I watch actors, I forget there's, to separate them. And that's a compliment.
Yeah.
I mean, because if I watch something and I end up hating you at the end of it, you did a good job.
Well, it's just like you're hating this guy that's a misogynistic, like gross cult leader kind of seeming.
No, I take it and it translates into their personal.
Oh, you do, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because if you've ticked me off or you caused me to go, wow, you're really a bad guy. Because I think kind of like, it might be pulling out something that's deep seated in them. They're actually, a-holes or whatever, and they played that role really well because it comes naturally.
So he is not. He is genuinely a nice guy.
All right. I trust you.
I mean, the last time I saw him was like 8 years ago, but we were he's like, hey, how's it going? So it's like,
Yeah.
he's a cool guy.
Well, he's the son of Sergeant Cottrell.
That's true.
From Chips.
That's true.
And there's nobody nicer than Sergeant Cottrell.
that would be so weird.
We're aging ourselves here.
Yeah.
At least
wow.
I am.
I only saw that in reruns.
Yeah. I saw that in first runs.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I grew up, you're going through high school and you saw an accident on the side on the road or something, and you say, oh, man, it was a Chips wreck. I mean, because that's how you defined how bad the accident was.
Really?
Yeah, that was, it was like, oh, my God, we were going down to 65, and we came up on this accident, man, it was a Chips wreck. I mean, they had Ponch and John out there.
I know. You don't see that many of them anymore.
No.
Because it's super dangerous motor transportation.
Well, yeah, that, and they've opted for the undercover cars as you go down the road.
Exactly.
Don't know. But anyway, I liked it. It was, I enjoyed trying to figure it out, and, the Stepford Wives aspect of it was the first thing I picked up on. And then I can't tell you how long it was into the movie that I kind of got the Truman Show aspect of it. I loved it. I really enjoyed that movie.
It was very well written.
It was. And Olivia Wilde
did a great job.
Directorial debut, as I understand.
No. Second one. She did that Booksmart movie.
Okay, well, this is why Ted's on the show. He is the encyclopedia.
Booksmart's good.
So I have to check out, but she did great. I mean, as a director, actor, as well. So, but no, I did. It was well laid out. I mean, the story from beginning to end, and again, in the front, it's a little slow, but I think that was probably intentional so that you try to figure out, okay, where are we going?
Yeah.
What is this?
I didn't know what was happening. But when it flips and you figure it out,
right,
there's another 20 minutes left, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe not 20, maybe 12. There's definitely a chunk of time where...
Well, I have to go back and put a time code on it. But, not giving away anything, but when the plane...
The plane is in the first 25 minutes.
Then you get suspicious and
yeah.
And then and that was actually the first thing that got me thinking was when they had the pool party at the character who's played by Chris Pine's home. And, he's building this loving community in his words. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? What's happening? Obviously, in the front end of it, it opens up, and no real spoiler here, but all the guys come out, go to work in the morning, and they come out of their house, everybody in the neighborhood, at the exact same time. And it's just this big motorcade out of the neighborhood, and all the wives are out there, saying goodbye. So you get that Stepford Wives kind of feel. But now I knew at the pool party that there was something was going to go towards that direction. But anyway,
also were there like really 12 people?
Yeah,
in this community, there's basically 12 people.
Well, I know what you're saying. I just get the feeling that they played to the executives, and the ones that they were recruiting for management, and letting it all out of the bag. Because, again, well, that would be a spoiler.
Everything's a spoiler. This is a hard one. Everything is a spoiler.
It is, because it's really story-driven. You've got to pay attention in this movie.
And once you hit the reveal of what is going on,
right,
you go, oh, there.
Yeah, because, everybody, Harry Styles' character was recruited. And, so he understands what's actually happening. So, but his wife has no idea what's happening. So she's in the dark about it. But he knows from the get-go, the day they moved in, that it was, So that's when you say there are like 12 people. Those that were recruited, I think, are the ones that knew. I still got a feeling it was a large community because when they do a wide shot, you see lots of homes.
Yeah.
But there were, I know what you're saying, but I got the feeling that there was much more to it.
Well, I can't say anything else because we could get really deep into this, but we just ruin the movie if I say anything else. Like, I mean, I rewound it and watched it again, like the last chunk. I was like, nope, let's watch this again.
Yeah.
Right when it happened, I watched the rest of the movie, and I was with my fiance, and I go, rewind, watch it again. I was like, I'm dumb. I should have seen that.
Well, see, I had some, because I watched it 4 or 5 days ago now. And but last night I had some busy work to do, so I put it on in the background and while I was doing my thing. And it was like, because I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have replayed it, and I'd just come on here and said, okay, this is, I'm trying to think of one that was, it's The Monsters.
Yeah, that's the worst movie I've ever seen.
It's The Monsters. So
it's not that.
No,
it's not that.
Hardly.
I would have loved to see Shia LaBeouf play that part because he's as good as her, and it would have been like, boom, boom, boom. I mean, it would have been crazy.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know that he pulls off the suave debonair.
Well, you know what? You say that though. She is the lead.
She's the lead.
She is. When Oscars roll around, there's no supporting to her.
Nope, she's the lead.
And matter of fact, she is the lead out of all the characters. Anybody else nominated in that movie, even the principal Harry Styles character, her husband.
He's a supporting.
He's a supporting actor. And Chris Pine's a supporting actor.
Yeah, Chris Pine could get nominated for supporting actor.
He could. Oh, yeah, because I hated him, and he did a good job. If he's a nice guy, as you say, he pulled it off,
He's wonderful in Wonder Woman. He's like one of the funniest parts of Wonder Woman. Like the part Wonder Woman 2 was not a good movie. Wonder Woman 1 was a good movie. Part 2 was terrible, but his earnestness of him being like, what's happening about his character was so good.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen a movie with Chris Pine in it that I didn't like. I mean, there was nothing that he has done or portrayed or the way he's acted or come across that's, I'm not going to watch, like Ethan Hawke. I'm not watching another Ethan Hawke movie, but now I'm going.
Your hate for Ethan Hawke?
Well, not anymore.
Well, that one movie.
I'm being proven wrong apparently because the guy's got real chops and he's real good. But there's nothing that I've ever seen Chris Pine in that turned me off. I mean, I liked him in both Wonder Womans, and you're right, Wonder Woman 2 was horrible compared to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And but no,
he was great in Smoking Aces, if you ever saw that.
No, I didn't see Smoking Aces.
That's like what really broke him.
Now, was that a comedy or romantic comedy?
It's like action-adventure kind of thing about this, I can't remember exactly, but it's Jeremy Piven.
Okay.
And he's like a drugged-out guy that they put a hit out on, so all the biggest
Jeremy's the drugged-out guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they put a hit on him, and he's in Reno, Nevada, and he's in like just coked out of his mind, and like all these different hitmen go to kill him, and Chris Pine.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Chris Pine is like part of the 3 brothers that are the methed out, and he's like he's the one that talks.
Yes.
And he gets out and he shoots Ben Affleck, and he puts his hand on his mouth, and he goes, "Sorry, mister," and starts using his lip to talk with him. He's real funny.
I did see that. And again, it did not turn me off of Chris Pine. Yeah. But you're right. So anyway, I did. I enjoyed this movie. I've watched it one time real seriously, highly focused, and last night I put it back on in the background just to pick up things and listen to it because I really enjoyed it and I had nothing else to do. I mean, and that's saying a lot because there was a good football game on last night, and the AMAs were on.
Oh, the AMAs.
I chose to watch. I chose to watch a movie for the second time. So, anyway,
to me, if you're a fan of movies, watch the movie. It's a great movie. I mean, even if like a suspense, I guess you need to call it a suspense.
Yeah, totally.
Even if you're not a fan of that type of movie, I would say that this is just a really good movie.
Yeah, because while it is a suspense, it's not the watcher suspenseful level.
And it pays off.
And yeah, that's right, it does. And that's important. That's really important. But yeah, the acting in it is just really great. The storyline is wonderful, and I enjoyed it. And the cast, it was perfectly cast all around. So there wasn't any one character that kind of or actor within it that kind of ruined it. Everybody was perfect in that movie. It was just from the get-go. So,
I concur 100%, and everybody out there should go watch this movie.
Yeah, where is that one? That one was on
is it Apple Plus?
Yeah.
It is Apple Plus, isn't it?
Apple Plus? Let's take a peek here and HBO Max. HBO Max. Sorry about that. Didn't want to lead you down the wrong road. But I put in the letter D in Google search right there, and it just immediately popped up. Don't worry, baby.
Don't worry, darling.
That's darling. Darling, sorry. I'm horrible with names. Oh my gosh.
What?
This conversation gets extended.
Why? What's happening?
Because we're way off. If you want to look.
What?
And I don't ever pay attention to those things, but since it popped up as
I don't understand that. I need to read that. Okay, we can extend a little bit. This has a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, no
Is
way.
Is it because you have to think? I guess. Is that what we're saying?
Well, it might be because IMDb gives it a 6.2.
Everything on IMDb has a
so
a 5 or 6 or 7. I mean, I'm in a movie that won a bunch of Oscars, and it's got like a 7.
Well,
they just complain. But you get trolls on there. They should get rid of that. Like they used to have a message board.
Because other than it's people like us that tune into IMDb that understand it.
Yeah.
They break down the movie. I'm shocked with Rotten Tomatoes at 38%. That's
I'd have to read some of those reviews.
Yeah, that's maybe one review. That's it.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter. I will say that it really doesn't matter because but what are people wanting to watch now? Marvel movies, they get 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's and that's you know what that's our problem. Let me touch on that real quick. Sidebar. The viewing habits, the movies that people like today, like Father Stew, which because it made it to Netflix so quickly, I thought it was a Netflix original, but it was in and out of the movie theater so quick that boom, it was there. And it just apparently wasn't something that people liked. I enjoyed it. Even if you didn't buy into that movie, I don't think you could give it anything less than a C. I mean, 70.
I didn't buy into that movie, and I would give it a C.
Okay, but this isn't even an F.
I would give.
I don't know how you could do that.
I would give this movie, to me, Florence Pugh is an A++, and I would give this movie a solid B+. There's some moments where I can see where the style mattered more than the substance, but
maybe they got the numbers backwards.
I don't think so.
Because an 83% would be what I would think this movie would do.
Maybe we're older and the core group of people voting on this movie. I don't know. Maybe they gave it a bad vote because of the people love Ted Lasso.
Maybe.
She definitely is not coming out and looking well in the trades.
Yeah, I've other than the being served on stage, I've stayed away from that particular headline because you get an idea and an understanding of this industry once the things come out and there's little factions that get behind others and all that personal stuff aside. I thought she did a great job directing and acting in this movie.
I mean, that's true.
Olivia.
Apparently, just, some things I've read, she would be really tough on Florence Pugh or ignore her if there was too much chemistry between her and Harry Styles. And it's in the scene. So I think she might have been a little bit of a mean director, and that's why Florence Pugh didn't do any publicity.
Oh, well.
Did you notice that? Florence Pugh did a bit of it. And at that premiere, she ignored her and sat on the complete opposite side.
Yeah, I didn't get in heavily involved at the personal issues that they might have had, but I did. Now that you say that, I do recall hearing that there was a little on set. But I'm saying, from a great director, she might be a horrible director from an actor-director standpoint. Mm-hmm. But you have to appreciate the final product of this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe she can do a better job of getting to the end. I don't know. I have no idea. I wasn't on the set. But, even so, you've got to acknowledge this movie was well directed.
It's great.
It laid it out.
I couldn't recommend it anymore.
I couldn't. So
maybe we're wrong, but you guys should go watch it for yourself and tell us.
Yeah. Please do. Yeah, it's on HBO Max, and it's Don't Worry, Darling. I got it right. Good for me. And stars Florence Pugh with supporting cast of Olivia Wilde, Harry Styles, and Chris Pine,
and Nick Kroll. I didn't know the other people.
I don't either, but they all did a great job. The neighbor.
Yep.
She did.
They all did a great job.
She did. It was, and you know what? She might be a difficult director. Again, I have no knowledge of that. But even if the supporting actors in this movie were as good as they were, she's got to be doing something right.
Yeah, but I think she was just. She's hooking up with the co.
Well, that clouds the water,
and it's getting a divorce in the process of it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure she was just weird. Not probably mean, just weird with them. Not all of them, just,
right.
Florence, there's some graphic sexual scenes in this.
Yes.
And I'm sure she was, we have to shoot them, but this makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, she handled it like a champ.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, don't worry, darling. HBO Max. I'm all for it, and I'm going to reverse the numbers on Rotten Tomato from a 38 to an 83. That would be my number.
I'm with you
on that. So anyway, all right. So next week, we're going to pour on the Christmas spirit a little here.
Spirited. That's exciting.
Spirited. Yep. It just came out on Apple TV. It was supposed to have been out last week, and that's what the show would have been about, but they pushed it, I guess, a week so they could do a simultaneous release at the box office, the theater, for it as well. But anyway, so I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ted.
And you've been listening to Streaming Without a Paddle.